Alright, so the voting for Season 4's Melee Challenge has been decided, the votes are in, it's ended, and today I'm going to show you guys what you voted for, but I'm also going to share what I thought you guys were going to vote for, and what I wanted you to vote for. Before we begin, I did say that I was going to give you guys a bit of a background on the classes I've played and the specs that I've played. That way you guys can get a rough idea of the sort of gameplay you can expect. Alright, so it's no secret I play and main a Havoc Demon Hunter, and I have done since the last tier of Legion, I believe, is when I came back to the game, because I took a break from, I believe, like right at the beginning of Draenor, and I came back at the end of Legion. There was a new spec in town, and I gave it a go. There were simpler times back then, like 4 buttons at most, perhaps. Yeah, it's a bit different now. I just loved how easy it was to pick up and play, and it's kind of like the Ret Paladin, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. We've seen quite a few changes over the expansions and patches, and Dragonflight is, well, it got reworked. There's been quite a few more changes. Gameplay has improved massively, in my opinion, but every once in a while I need either a season or maybe a couple of months off of the Havoc Demon Hunter. Plus, I like to play a lot of characters anyway. So during Shadowlands, I believe it was the first tier, I was still actively playing my Havoc Demon Hunter, but there was one in particular that's not on the list because they were a challenge series character for Season 2. And that was the Windwalker Monk. I did some raiding for maybe a month, 6 weeks. It wasn't a lot. It was during Castle Nathria Season 1, I believe, and it opened my eyes to just how different some of these melee specs were, in the way that I can't just button bash like I can most classes that I've played. But anyway, I really enjoyed the gameplay, so I have some experience of that, but that was pretty much it. But Windwalker's not on the list because we played Monk for Season 2's challenge and it just didn't feel right. And for the same reasons, Death Knight isn't on there. I've left that one off as well because it didn't feel right and I wanted to switch it up. But if you guys wait until the end when I cover everything that I have planned for Season 4, well, we might actually be playing them anyway. So that was Windwalker. I believe as a main ult, I also played Fury Warrior, and it's actually a character I've played a little bit in the past as well. So in Season 2 of Shadowlands, because it was a torrid time in Shadowlands in general, I tried playing different classes and specs to try and revive some love for the game that I kind of lost a little on the way. I first started playing Fury during Mists of Pandaria. I actually enjoyed some PvP, funnily enough, and just the playstyle, the button mashing, like there was always something to press. It plays a lot differently now, but I picked that up for Season 2 in Shadowlands, and I had a good time there as well. I actually really enjoyed it, but I always went back to the Demon Hunter. Probably obvious as well, but Ret Paladin I play a lot of because of the challenge. I fell in love with it. Havoc Demon Hunter is my main, so that's obviously not part of the list as well, but again, we'll touch on those after. But if we rewind all the way back to Cataclysm and even the end of Wrath of the Lich King, I actually mained a Feral Druid. I played Kitty, and I absolutely loved it. It may shock some of you, but I actually healed all of heroic Wrath of the Lich King as a Resto Druid, and then transitioned to DPS because we had too many people that wanted to heal. I began Cataclysm raiding with the guild I ran, and I was Kitty then. We also had another Feral Druid. I did that until the beginning of Firelands when the guild decided we needed a mage, and that's when I stopped playing Druid. I felt pretty confident with everything I played. But now we're going to mention my first ever raiding character, and that is probably not accurate because my first one was a BM hunter, but that doesn't count. That's a story for another day. But my first proper raiding guild and first proper raiding experience, it wasn't an outlaw rogue. No, it was combat. I'm still salty. The combat rogue. Okay, where to begin with this guy? This was my first proper experience, and this is where I kind of found out very quickly that you needed a rotation. You needed to know a rotation. I didn't know a rotation. What is a rotation? Good times. Again, stories for another day, so I'm not going to get into it, but the rogue was a lot of fun. The rogue was a lot of fun, and it had that PvP aspect as well, where you could just stealth and no one could see you. That was incredible. I really, really enjoyed my time with the rogue. And I did come back to play Outlaw at the end of Shadowlands Season 4, where I got my first ever KSM. But it had changed a lot over the years, and it was overwhelming. It was pretty difficult to prioritize spells, which button to press at what time. It's It's not the spec it used to be. Oh, of course, they changed the name. I'm still mad. And I guess if we want to talk about old specs, yes, I have played Survival. When we had arrows and mana. You remember that? But the melee version? No, never played. Never played. Arms, I've played like 1 or 2 dungeons over the years. Let's not talk about that. Assassination and sub? I don't know, man. And then we have Enhancement Shaman, which is a spec that's always been intriguing to me. And I think I've played a few dungeons over the years. Nothing serious, but I honestly have no idea. No idea. It's got that appeal for me because I love the lore. Not so much in-game. I'm all about the end game and grinding Mythic Plus and getting gear. But the stories, like the books, I absolutely love. And Frau is a massive character for me. And he's obviously half shaman and half warrior because of the way he was brought up. So for that reason, warrior and shaman are always going to have, you know, it's always going to be close to my heart. In terms of the other specs, I didn't really play Ret at all until the challenge that we did in Season 2, and I've fallen in love with Ret. I've tried very briefly to play Unholy and Frost on the DK. That didn't go so well. I went back to Blood. I just can't. And that's just about it. That's my experience. That's everything I've done with all of the melee specs and the classes. I don't think I've ever spec'd into the melee hunter survival spec. I also don't think I've ever spec'd into assassination. Although I think many years ago for PvP, when the talent trees were very different, I think there was like this mutilate PvP build on the rogue where you could go into assassination and sub. I'm not quite sure, but I'm not going to count that. So that's everything you need to know about Dilly. So if there's specs or, you know, melee specs that you guys want to vote for in upcoming seasons, you know my background, you know my weaknesses now, but hopefully Season 4, we can change that. All right, that's that out of the way. We're going to take a look at everything that you guys voted for, and I guess in no particular order. I'm just going to start from left to right because I kind of grouped them together. We have the Arms Warrior. I don't think many of you guys voted for this. All right, maybe that's a lie. Two of you voted, so in total of 85 votes on the Discord, only 2 of you voted for Arms Warrior. Now, Fury, well, that got a hell of a lot more votes than Arms. That got 3. There's not a lot of love for warriors in the community. Now, Assassination, I have no idea. Like, I don't know where these rank in terms of difficulty or damage. This one actually got 6 votes. No particular order. I'm going to keep them to themselves. The C is basically the bottom, and, well, we'll see when we get to the others. Next up, we have Outlaw Rogue, and this didn't get any votes. That makes me sad. There's nothing else I can really say on that. Now, Sub Rogue absolutely smashed Outlaw Rogue with 1 vote, so I'm just gonna put that there. And then we have Survival Hunter. Now, I'm gonna place these ones a lot higher up because Survival Hunter got 17 votes, so I'm gonna place that there in the A category. 17, that was quite a lot. But that wasn't alone because Feral Druid got 20 votes. So in terms of order, I'm just going to place that there for now. So 20 votes on the Feral Druid and 17 on Survival Hunter. Yikes. And that, of course, leaves Enhancement Shaman, which came in with a staggering 36 votes. So Enhanced Shaman was your pick for Season 4, and that's what I will be playing for the challenge. But more on that later. In terms of what I thought you guys were going to vote for, honestly, I thought you were going to vote for all 3 of them. I was going to pick like 3 that I thought you were going to vote for, and all 3 of these were the specs that I thought you were going to vote. However, the ordering I would have done a little differently, I think. I think because of the memeing on the channel, and I think the memeing in general towards hunters, I actually thought survival was going to be top. I actually thought that was going to be number 1. After that, I thought it was very tough, but I honestly thought Kitty would get more votes than Enhance for some reason. I don't know why. Though, to be fair, personal experience for me, I think I actually see a lot more Feral Druids than Enhance, so maybe it would make more sense to do it that way. Either way, I was close, but I got it wrong. And then there was what I wanted you guys to vote for. So this is what I wanted to play. Now, this might surprise you a little bit, but this is actually the order. I wanted you guys to vote for Survival Hunter because of the memes, because I've never played it, because I think it will be challenging and fun. If you guys wasn't going to vote for that, and because of my attachment to Frau, as I mentioned, Enhanced Shaman was actually going to be my second choice. And then, because I think of the underdog and the difficulty of Feral, that was going to be my third choice. So, yeah. You guys pretty much got it spot on. Thanks. The other ones are completely irrelevant. I didn't think it would gain any interest, to be honest. I thought a couple of them, maybe like Arms Warrior and a couple of the Rogue specs, would be more challenging, definitely for me, because I have no idea how to play them. And Fury and Outlaw, Fury, I think, would be incredibly easy for me to pick up. Probably a few things going to be hard to master, but for the most part, I think playstyle-wise, that would be a lot easier. Outlaw, you'd see some difficulties, but I don't think I'd find it very challenging to pick up the rotation and some of the advanced min-maxy stuff. But yeah, I thought you guys would vote for Survival Hunter, and it turns out well, that just wasn't the case. Alright, now we're going to discuss my plans for Season 4. So obviously, we're going to take the Enhanced Shaman to KSH. That is the primary plans. That will be the main challenge series here on YouTube, but we're going to spice things up a little bit. Now, I went into this with a plan that I would do not only one, but I would do the top 3. And I was hoping you guys would vote for these, and you have. Unfortunately, the way I wanted to do things, just incredibly busy right now. And I don't think I'm going to have enough time to dedicate full videos the way I want to. I don't just want to put it out there. I want to make really good content. So my plan, at the beginning of Season 4, I'm going to start with the Enhanced Shaman, and that's going to be the YouTube. We're going to get that to KSH. Once that's finished, I'm going to lift the restrictions, and we're going to take Enhanced Shaman all the way to 3K. Not only that, I'm going to do some of it live on stream with you guys, so you can join me for the adventure as well. So I will do some of it off stream when I'm playing with the community or just hanging in Discord, but I will also be doing some of it live on stream. So if that's something you guys are interested in and you want to come along and watch the journey after the KSH has been achieved on YouTube, then you've got to follow me on Twitch and come and watch me live. But you're probably also wondering what Feral Druid and Survival Hunter have to do with any of this. Well, although I can't dedicate enough time to make a full YouTube series as I wanted to, I've decided that at the beginning of the season, that's right, the beginning of the season, I'm actually going to actively play these guys too, and I'm going to do some of it live on stream, but I'm also going to do some of it off stream as well. There won't be any restrictions on these, so you guys can come and join me. I might even bring them to raids, who knows? We don't really know what's happening on that. But yeah, the plan is to play all 3 of the specs. I'm going to get KSH on the Shaman first before jumping into any stream stuff and removing the restrictions. But you guys also get to watch and join me for the Feral Druid and Survival Hunter. That should be interesting. But just how far are we going to take these guys? Well, the Enhanced Shaman's going to go to 3K. That's going to be the challenge. I also want to get the Feral Druid and Survival Hunter to 3K. Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. In terms of every other melee class and spec. Now, I'm a melee main. It's what I love and enjoy, and it's what I do best. And doing these challenge series over the last few seasons has kind of opened my eyes that I should really give all of these specs a chance. You don't know what you're going to enjoy at the end of the day, and some of them have really surprised me. Like Affliction Warlock, I absolutely love. If no single target is a bit horrible at times, most of the time, but I'm experiencing that with Ret Paladin right now. So, but I mean, Ret Gober, Afgo Boom, AoE is just glorious. So Season 4 for me is going to be like Project Melee. I'm going to play every single spec, every single melee spec. And maybe when the War Within is fully released, I might have a new main character, a new main spec. Who knows? I'm going to treat Season 4 as a way to experiment and just try everything, play everything. I'm also going to pick one from every class, and I'm going to look to take each melee to KSH. That's the plan anyway. That's just secondary goals. That would be nice. It's a target. I might not hit that because life is pretty busy right now. But yeah, the top 3 at least, Enhanced, Feral, and Survival going to 3K. And then I can spend the rest of the season experimenting with all of the melee specs and prepare myself for the War Within because, well, who knows? I might have a new main. So that's the plan. We're going to do the majority of this live. So if you want to come and watch me and see how things progress, I'll leave the link to everything down below. Let me know in the comments what you guys have planned for Season 4. Don't be afraid to experiment. Honestly, you have no idea what you might enjoy. I mean, melee main playing Affliction Warlock. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.